Toronto District School Board is calling on the province to change the funding formula for public education as it remains under pressure to balance its budget. The TDSB, working to address a $58 million deficit for this school year, it has proposed closing swimming pools or eliminating music instructors to try and save some cash. Those are just a few options on the table that board members are considering. So let's bring in Neethan Shan. He's the chair of the Toronto District School Board. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's a busy time. There's a lot for us to talk about, but let's start by talking about this proposal that the province take a look at the funding formula. Pardon me. What is it that you're proposing? What do you think they should change? How do
I think, if you look at the amount of money that the province has been spending on public education, has gone down. It used to be a higher proportion of the provincial funding. Now it's gone down in the last few years. It also has not kept up with inflation. About $1,500 per student is not being funded right now because of, if you adjust to inflation. So not only Toronto District School Board, majority of the school boards across the province are facing deficit because the funding hasn't kept up to inflation. So it's about $1,500 per student. We have 239,000 students. Mm-hmm. That's about $350 million that's short for us. And so that is an important thing to consider and start addressing it. It may not be all at once, but at least start to progressively fill that funding gap around inflation.
Do you think that's actually going to happen, though? Because we have the province saying, no, you guys need to trim your deficit. Otherwise, we're going to get involved. It sounds like your board is very vocal in saying you need more money. Do you really think the province is going to consider more cash?
Well, there are a few other things we've told the province that they could do. One is that, our CPP and EI, we pay for our staff, and our staff salaries that are centrally negotiated with the province. Mm-hmm. There's about $70 million that is underfunded by the province. If they address that gap, our deficit is only $58 million this year. So that would be immediately taken care of. They could lift the moratorium and allow us to have schools be consolidated. There are a number of schools that are being underutilized and are in a bad state of repair. So, we're spending about $40 million annually to keep those buildings operating. So, if we were able to consolidate, that will come into the picture. There's a number of other things the province can do to make sure we spend about $40 million additionally on special education, which is an important thing to invest in. So, these are things that we've been telling, and every year we start with the same situation. So unless the structural deficit is addressed, we're going to be at the same state. Not only us, many provinces across the province, many school boards across the province face the same thing.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a lot of this is playing out in the media, and I say that because you have the education minister, Paul Calandra, saying, figure out your deficit or we're going to get involved. They also have talked about concerns over the staff report suggesting maybe cutting music teachers or changing, the availability for pools. And then you have the TDSB saying, no, we need more money. Yeah. Are you guys actually talking, though? Are you at the table? Do you have meetings?
Well, it's important for us to acknowledge that we are actually not in support of cutting those pool programs or outdoor education or music instruction.
That's the staff report, right?
That's the staff report. The trustees haven't discussed that yet.
Yeah.
We've invited the minister to meet with us a couple of times, and I heard through media that he has agreed to meet with the Toronto District School Board. That's the first time we've heard that. That is a welcome sign. And it's a new government, even though same government, but they formed recently. So it's good for us to start fresh and sit down together and discuss. And I'm hoping that that gesture of willing to meet and us actually fully cooperating with anything that they want to do around the financial investigation that we've already promised would be a good start to sit down and look at the situation critically. It's a difficult time for all of us. Uncertainties are around everywhere, and it's important for public education system to be on the same page with the provincial government.
So you've reached out to Calandra's office, but you're hearing through media he's willing to meet, but there's nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah, I think if he's agreed to meet through media, we would take that as a yes, and we'll reach out and have that meeting soon. In fact, we are also waiting to hear who the financial investigators are, what their scope of investigation is, because we actually want them to come and have a look at it to tell us, where else do you think we've downsized 90 senior staff over the last few years, saving $10 million. We have done so many cuts already. Now it's becoming increasingly difficult to continue this.
Yeah, it's certainly. It sounds like we're out of time, but I just really want to quickly ask you about this conversation surrounding the pools and the music teachers, because you mentioned this was something staff is suggesting to the board. If you look at this might be a way to save some money, but it sounds like this isn't something the board is really considering when it comes to canceling pools and swimming instructors.
So the ministry has told us to look outside the K-12 space of funding, which is pools and the music instructors who are externally brought in as an itinerant educator. So those are outside programs that the staff are saying that there's options to possibly reduce or cut to save money. But I think those are important things for our children. Those things make children come to school and enjoy learning and so on. So outdoor education, music education, and pools and swimming programs are not things that we want to cut. But we want the ministry to address the deficit first.
For sure. Okay, Chair, thank you so much for taking the time. It's a really important conversation affecting so many families in Toronto. So we will be in touch.
Thank you very much.